weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Right now, it's 68 degrees.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. Budget amendments and 3 recognitions are among the key agenda items for the Taylorville City Council's 2nd July meeting tonight at 7. Isabel Morrow and Callum Shanks will be recognized with respect to FFA International Awards. Andra Ebert and Jack Brown will also be recognized. The budget amendments relate to DCEO grants regarding the first 2 phases of construction work downtown and the water main improvement project along Illinois Route 48. The changes amount to $4,525,000. Other notable agenda items include an ordinance regarding battery energy storage systems, or BESS, special use permit rules and regulations, authorization of personal property sales owned by the city, and a vote on a special events permit for the annual Tootsie Roll Drive from September 11th through the 12th. As is customary, the city attorney and mayor will provide their updates in the latter part of the meeting. The public will also be able to provide comment on city-related matters. Stay tuned for updates following the meeting. People under 18 will be able to provide consent for contraceptive services and products in medical settings in Illinois. The change comes after Governor J.B. Pritzker signed Senate Bill 3341 into law on Friday, June 10th. Currently, minors must get permission from a parent or guardian to access these products. The bill passed the State House and Senate largely along party lines. State Representative Bill Howder, a Republican from Morton, questioned the bill's sponsors on the rights of minors compared to their parents on the House floor.
In the scenario where a parent is present for a physician visit with the minor, and the minor consents to contraceptive care and the parent does not consent for their minor child, who supersedes? Which consent supersedes?
General Assembly Republicans criticized the measure, saying it violates parents' rights to manage the care of their children. Planned Parenthood Great Rivers Action advocated for the bill and praised its signing, saying it will meet the needs of today's youth. The new law will take effect on January 1st, 2027. Republicans in the Illinois General Assembly are calling for ethics reforms in the state's legislature. This comes on the back of multiple investigations relating to state representatives, which are making headlines entering the final 4 months before Election Day. State Representative Carol Ammons, a Democrat from Urbana, was charged on July 8th with misusing campaign funds and scheming to receive financial kickbacks. Also this month, another representative from the same party, Harry Benton of Plainfield, resigned amid bipartisan pressure to do so. He had been accused of sexual harassment and other unethical conduct. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, is among those calling for reforms. He says without them, investigating ethics-based claims is more difficult to do.
The Senate Republicans have been calling on changes to our ethics laws for years, and we've gotten no assistance from the Democrats to change these laws. I mean, our legislative inspector general should have a lot more teeth in investigating allegations of wrongdoing, but at this moment, you know, our legislative inspector general is really, it's really hard for them to get things investigated because of the fact that our laws don't allow for more thorough and unregulated investigations of members of the General Assembly.
Senator McClure cites campaign financing as one example. He believes sanctions for violating related laws are too lenient and says candidates in many instances can avoid fines merely by closing related accounts.
So you can have people that, you know, get a lot more donations than the law allows, for example. You know, let's just say the campaign limit is you can only get $5,000 per year from somebody. If they get $50,000 from someone, well, the penalty is not, okay, you know, you're breaking the laws, you're going to go to prison or you're going to get probation or whatever. It's just, pay a fine. And if you close down your campaign account, you don't have to pay the fine. So it's ridiculous. I mean, we've seen at the federal level, if you break campaign finance laws, people go to prison, people go to get convicted, people get probation, but here you don't even get a criminal penalty at all. You just get to do what you want to do, and then the election's over with, and no matter what happens in the election, let's say you win, well, if you shut down your campaign account, you don't have to pay the fine.
Away from the Capitol, the state senator's staffers are organizing several iCash events in conjunction with the state treasurer's office within his district. Constituents can attend and find out if the state owes them money. These events have happened in Taylorville and Carlinville this summer, with another in Sullivan to follow.
No, absolutely. We had an event that was at the Taylorville Municipal Building, so we thank the city of Taylorville for allowing us to have an event there where we organized and brought in the treasurer's office to allow for constituents to come in and see if the state of Illinois owes them money or not. And we had a great turnout, I'm happy to report. And we broke the record for the most money that's ever been awarded at any of our events. And we had one of my constituents came in and found out that the state owes them $26,000. And so they were able to come in and fill out the forms and get that started to get their money. So it's very exciting.
Interested attendees can simply show up. No advance registration is required. State Senator McClure also recently traveled to Washington, D.C. for events as part of the U.S.'s 250th anniversary. He had the opportunity to view historical artifacts with deep connections to his district.
They've opened for the first time ever in the last couple of weeks the basement of the Lincoln Memorial, and that's such a famous site. And the famous statue of Abraham Lincoln sitting in a chair is iconic. And so I had the chance to go into the basement of the Lincoln Memorial, and the coolest thing is they got, when you go into the basement. By the way, you need tickets to get into the basement, which you can sign up for online. And they had the actual Emancipation Proclamation and the actual an actual constitutional amendment to end slavery. So both of these original documents are actually in the basement of the Lincoln Memorial now. And to see them in person and to do so in such a cool location is pretty awesome. And what a great 250th birthday setup. And so they're going to keep the basement open. I think they're going to develop a video that plays down there more. But in the meantime, I went down and saw it, and it's awesome. It's open to the public, and I highly recommend it.
More information on Senator Steve McClure is available at senatormcclure.com. Senator Steve McClure appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taterville Community Credit Union. 2026 is an exciting year at TCCU. We are building a new home office, upgrading our mobile app, and preparing to offer mobile check deposit, all to better serve our members. 2026 also marks our 70th anniversary. For 70 years, TCCU has been your local source for low loan rates, great deposit rates, and an organization proud to serve our local communities. Visit any of our convenient locations in Taterville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, or Painter. You can also visit us online at tccu.org, member NCUA.
The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum will host a talk and exhibit focusing on the 16th president's eldest son, Robert T. Lincoln. The event is set for tomorrow at 6:30, with doors opening at 6. Jason Emerson, a historian and the author of Giant in the Shadows, The Life of Robert T. Lincoln, will lead the discussion. Attendees will also be able to take in a pop-up exhibit of artifacts from Robert Lincoln's life. They include his photo in his mother's watch case and a playbill for Harvard's Hasty Pudding Club, in which he participated. After the talk, Emerson will sell and sign copies of his book. Outgoing Executive Director Christina Schutt says the ALPLM looks forward to highlighting what she describes as the former U.S. president's eldest son's complicated life. Robert Lincoln served as Secretary of War under Presidents James Garfield and Chester A. Arthur. He was then named Minister to the United Kingdom in 1889, holding that role for 4 years. Afterwards, he served as General Counsel and later President and Chairman of the Pullman Palace Car Company. The event is free to attend, but interested attendees must register at presidentlincoln.illinois.gov/events. Heartland Casa and Kemmerer Village are joining forces in the effort to recruit more court-appointed special advocates, as the acronym stands for. Heartland Casa works to provide support and guidance to children in the foster care and child welfare system. Kemmerer Village, the Assumption-based Presbyterian child care agency, will host trainings for interested volunteers. The move comes as local demand for advocates is far outpacing availability. One training series will take place Mondays during the day starting next Monday. The other is set for Wednesday nights starting July 29th. Each series lasts 6 weeks. Lori McDaniel, Recruitment and Retention Manager for Heartland Casa, says the collaboration was inspired by a Kemmerer Village employee taking the training.
Actually, so it started, like I said, I had someone in my last volunteer class that was in Christian County in Taylorville at the library, and she worked at Kimmer, and she started talking about, she goes, I know that I have a lot of coworkers that would be interested in doing this. So, and one of her friends was interested, and we thought, there's more people here. So I contacted Chalice and asked her to meet with myself and Blaine and our program manager, Cassandra, and everybody agreed it was a great opportunity and a good thing to do. So it started blossoming from there. And now we actually have 2 classes scheduled.
Chalice Nagel, Kemmerer Village's executive director, says the similarities in the two organizations' missions played a notable role in their working together.
I think the very special mission of CASA in terms of providing that court-appointed special advocate, right? Yeah. The Kemmerer Village caseworkers, they're wonderful. I'm really proud, to have that department and the people that work there. But their role is a little bit different. And people who want to find out more about that should absolutely contact Lori, look at the Facebook post, and come and learn about how to be a CASA worker and volunteer, because these children do need somebody in that very special role that this program offers.
Blaine Smith, Heartland Casa's executive director, says new volunteer advocates could streamline cases for any of the over 250 children awaiting an advocate.
At Heartland Casa, our goal is to advocate for the best interest of the child in care. So a child who comes into care who's been abused or neglected gets assigned a CASA if one is available, and we have the volunteers for it. And our sole focus is the best interest of that child. Kemmerer, and I'm going to pass this to you, Chalice, does a lot more with like casework type stuff, and we are specifically child focused.
McDaniel says the trainings cover all steps in the legal process with the goal of ensuring prospective advocates know what to expect.
Now, when you get to the end of the road and you're going to get assigned your case, I want you to know, how did they even get here? So we talk about understanding the court what it takes, what the child goes through till it gets to the point where they're in DCFS, and then CASA is assigned and they have a caseworker. We talk about, we learn about mental health and substance abuse, because a lot of our families, this is, parents are experiencing mental health issues, addiction. We talk about court reports, because one of the things advocates do is prepare a court report. And that's another intimidating word. If you can write a Word document or a text, you can write a court report. It's a template, and you're going to write a small section about your child, your observations based on factual information, so that, we're providing information to the judge that helps him make an informed decision about the best interest of the child. We talk about, the child welfare system, child welfare laws. We go through some case studies just for examples of these are some things you might experience.
Amid the collaboration, the organization's leaders call for the community to play its part to help children in need of support.
We need the community to have that buy-in as well, and to want to participate in advocating for the best interest of the children in care. These are our kids here in this community that need us, and if we don't step up for them, that is something else that they're out there alone. And as much as Kemmerer does, as much as DCFS does, all of the other people, kids are lost at times, and they don't typically have a consistent person throughout their journey, which is hard. You think about your own personal life and not having somebody there consistently, that's hard for yourself. Imagine a kid going through trauma and all this change and not having that consistent person. So when you have the community buy-in and the collaboration with them, they step up and participate. And that helps Kimmer as well, because as soon as they know and get to see, I love your facility, there's more to do. These kids need us.
More information on Heartland CASA is available at maconcountycasa.org. Lori McDaniel, Shawless Nagel, and Blaine Smith appeared as guests on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.
Your son was 3 when you planted that tree in your backyard. Now he's grown, planting seeds and making memories with his own kids. Let Heartland Bank help you grow more memories with banking options for every stage of your life. Welcome, former CNB customers. We're your community bank. Heartland Bank. We build relationships that nurture and grow your dreams. Visit us today at hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
Illinois Farm Bureau President Philip Nelson returned from the American Farm Bureau Federation Council of Presidents meeting in Washington. Conversations included U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer and concern over high input prices. The AFBF Council of Presidents meeting took place July 6th through the 9th. Last week was Rural Road Safety Awareness Week. Here's more from Don Schaefer from Springfield, Illinois-based Midwest Truckers Association. The Midwest Truckers Association represents 4,300 members in 15 states, including Illinois. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 92-year-old Marjorie Ellen Kruger of Nokomis, formerly of Toledo, Iowa, died last Wednesday. Visitation and the funeral service took place Saturday at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Nokomis. Interment is at Nokomis Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Steele Dawson Funeral Home in Nokomis. 68-year-old John J. Joseph Belk of Taylorville died July 11th. Visitation is today from 4 till 7 at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. The funeral service will be tomorrow at 10:30, also at McClure Funeral Home. Arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. And 72-year-old Raymond Ray Thomas Shaw of Springfield died July 10th. A funeral mass will take place August 8th at 11 at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church in Springfield. A private celebration of life will follow. Get local news anytime at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and on